Hello and welcome back to Zodiac Signs Explained. This is a video series in which I talk about each zodiac sign, their core personality traits, why they are the way they are, as well as give celebrity examples that really help illustrate this zodiac sign. In this video, we're going to be focusing on Cancer. So if you're Cancer or someone you know is, then be sure to follow along. Hi, my name is Elena. I'm a professional Vedic astrologer, and on this channel, I regularly publish videos about astrology, zodiac signs, forecasts, celebrity birth charts, and all this sort of thing. So if you're into astrology, be sure to subscribe to my channel not to miss any of the upcoming videos. Now, before we dive into the Cancer zodiac sign characteristics, it is important to note that as a Vedic astrologer, I am reading Vedic birth charts, which use sidereal zodiac. So if you're a Western astrologer and you're used to seeing celebrities as a certain zodiac sign, that will not apply here. If you're completely new to astrology and you don't know what the difference is between the Vedic astrology and the Western sun sign astrology, then be sure to check out my video on this topic. You will find that Cancer zodiac sign characteristics will strongly resonate with you if one or more of your big three placements, that is sun, moon, or rising signs, is in Cancer. You will find that Cancer zodiac sign characteristics also apply to you if 3 or more planets in your birth chart find themselves in Cancer. If you don't know what your birth chart looks like or how to build it, then check out my video about the birth chart basics on my Astrology for Beginners playlist to potentially identify some interesting Cancer placements in your birth chart. Now, let's get started with Cancer zodiac sign characteristics. Cancer is a water sign, and like all water signs, it is very strongly connected to the realm of feelings, emotions, and intuition. Cancer is the sign ruled by the moon, and it takes on many of her qualities. First off, the moon is incredibly sensitive to the influences of the planets that it gets associated with in the birth chart. And like so, Cancer natives can also be incredibly sensitive. The first keyword for Cancer here is receptivity, and we can see this in one of 3 ways. Firstly, Cancer natives are scanning the environment, and they constantly receive signals about different factors of their environment, like people or places. This is why Cancer natives can usually read the room pretty well and can immediately tell if the vibe is off. Also, it is well known that Cancer natives are emotionally very sensitive, as they experience a very broad spectrum of emotions. They are sensitive to other people's moods and emotions. They can even mirror them and act in this way where when they come into contact with a person, they can almost absorb the other person's feelings, emotions, and emotional states. This is what often makes them so empathetic. Keyword number 2, and gives them an ability to naturally relate to people. Although if the Cancer zodiac sign and or the moon receive many negative planet influences, especially Saturn or Ketu, then it can be, on the contrary, very difficult for these people to gain access to their empathy and to relate to what others might be going through and sympathize. In Vedic astrology, the moon, Cancer's ruler, is Manaskaraka, or the indicator of the mind. But here the mind doesn't mean intellect, but rather the part of your consciousness that is the first response to the environment and what happens in it. This is more emotional and intuitive, and in a way informs you how you feel about an event or a trigger that is happening externally in the world. The mind that is governed by the moon is the mind that generates the emotional response. Do I like what's happening? Do I not like what's happening? Does this make me feel happy, sad, angry, and so on and so forth? For this reason, Cancer natives usually rely on their emotional and intuitive perception of the world a lot more than on the logical, matter-of-fact arguments. To them, this feels right is more of a convincing matter than even a string of facts. Cancer natives have an incredible mind-body connection. Keyword number 3. More than for any other zodiac sign, their physical health is often influenced by the psychosomatic response. And this is especially true for Cancer rising natives because in their case, the moon, which governs the mind, lords over the first house of body and health. Because of the high empathetic potential of Cancer zodiac signs, its receptivity and sensitivity, ability to relate to others, Cancer natives naturally make for really good therapists, counselors, psychologists, and even healers, especially for the matters of the mental and emotional health. They often choose careers in therapeutic, keyword number 4, functions, like therapists, counselors, and behavior analysts, which is something we will see with the celebrity examples portion of this video. However, for a lot of them, their chosen field of work will be different. But even so, Cancer natives are naturally very wise, insightful, psychologically astute, and can read between the lines. They possess a special talent of making others feel seen, heard, and understood. Another important characteristic of the Cancer zodiac sign, which we can learn from the moon, is its changeability. Moon is the only planet in Vedic astrology which completes its journey throughout all 12 zodiac signs in a span of 1 month, which means that it changes signs once every 2.5 days. In addition to that, the moon is going through her own cycle and phases, and the combination of her journey through zodiac signs as well as its phases make it a very changeable and constantly evolving planet. So like the moon, Cancer natives are also changing at a very rapid pace, and they're very susceptible to their moods. Like the moon, Cancer natives are very changeable, keyword number 5. They tend to be moody, and they can change an outlook or the way they look at a problem in the blink of an eye, sometimes changing their attitude fundamentally, practically overnight. Cancer is easily the most dynamic and changeable sign of the zodiac. This is due to its connection to the moon, but also because Cancer is a movable sign in the water element. Water has capacity to take shape of any vessel that you put it into. And like the water, Cancer natives are also highly adaptable to circumstances and new environments they may find themselves in. Because change is a big constant in Cancer's lives, they tend to thrive in relationships with partners who are a lot more stable, grounded, and can provide support and structure for them in a very down-to-earth way. The moon, Cancer's ruler, is the queen of the night sky, and she represents the divine feminine aspect of the universe. She is the mother of the zodiac. So people with rising moon and sun placements in Cancer have this maternal, keyword number 6, quality. They're usually very caring and nurturing. They tend to be family oriented. The home, the comfort of their home, and their family are of paramount importance to Cancer. Cancer is a mother hen of the zodiac, and its natives are very protective of their own, sometimes in this overbearing kind of way. Home and a household is a very special place for Cancer, and they tend to see housekeeping, homemaking, baking, gardening, and other home duties in a more pleasurable way, not so much a chore. Cancer's energy is very feminine, and Cancer natives truly master the art of soft, quiet power. This also means that they can often appear and really be quite passive in relationships, allowing and preferring for the other person to take the lead. They flourish when they nurture, keyword number 7, and take care of others. But this also means that they have a tendency to lose themselves in relationships and can very easily become codependent. Traditional roles of a spouse and a parent are very important to Cancer natives. This is true because of their attachment to family, but also because tradition and traditional values find themselves in the DNA of the sign. Mother or mother figure usually take the center stage of their life, and they also tend to have a special attachment to their childhood, often through some nostalgic tokens or rituals, like a bedtime storybook or a meal that their mother used to make for them when they were sick, or maybe they like to rewatch shows or movies or cartoons from their childhood. In an abstract way, Cancer is related to the 4th house of the birth chart, and one of its meanings is inner world. Cancer natives are often driven by the desire to understand the world around them, both inner and outer, and this is keyword number 8. They want to make sense of their experience, understand what is happening, why things are the way they are, why they or somebody close to them behave a certain way. They're usually driven to psychology, self-help, self-discovery, self-knowledge types of tools and instruments, but this can also play out where they get fascinated with the outer world and they start exploring the nature of things through natural sciences like biology, chemistry, physics, or anthropology, something we will also see with our celebrity examples. A lot of these characteristics, like their innate wisdom, empathy, powers of intuitive perception, and a desire to understand the world, make them excellent educators, and Cancer natives usually thrive in educational, teaching, or counseling roles. However, they too have a darker side. Their sensitivity can very easily go over the top, where it becomes really difficult for them but also those around them, to handle this much emotion. They're also notorious for holding on to hurt feelings for a long time, not voicing them and getting them out of their system until they can't take it anymore and turn passive aggressive. And of course, their gift for being psychologically astute can easily tempt them into manipulating, keyword number 9, other people's feelings, emotions, and actions. Lastly, all water signs are susceptible to substance abuse, notably with alcohol, as it becomes a coping mechanism to drown out all the intensity of feelings and emotions that they feel. And Cancer natives often find themselves at the top of the list for going off the rails on this one. Now, before we look at famous Cancer celebrities, let's round up the Cancer zodiac sign description with its keywords: receptivity, empathy, mind-body connection, therapeutic, changeable, maternal, nurture, desire to understand the world, and manipulating. First example, or exhibit A, is Maria Montessori. Maria was an Italian physician and educator, globally recognized for creating the Montessori method. This revolutionary child-centered educational approach emphasizes hands-on learning, self-directed activity, and respect for a child's natural psychological development. With Maria, we see several of Cancer-centric topics. Her life's work revolved around childhood education, two topics which are very near and dear to the Cancer zodiac sign. Her method featured an unconventional approach to the role of the teacher, where normally a teacher lectures a class of kids on a particular subject. In Maria Montessori's method, a teacher observes the child's response to the environment and how they're interacting with games, toys, or tasks in front of them, and engages only when the child is ready to get immersed into a new activity, which respects each individual child's learning pace. This also highlights the receptivity theme. Maria Montessori received her own education as a physician, psychiatrist, and anthropologist, the subjects which also align with the Cancer zodiac sign therapeutic and desire to understand the world themes. Let's look at her birth chart for a minute. She was a Cancer rising with Venus and Mars placed in Cancer in her first house. Now, kind of minded that I am a Vedic astrologer using a sidereal zodiac Vedic astrology birth chart. So if this chart style is unfamiliar to you, you're welcome to check out my Astrology for Beginners video series, where I teach you how to read and interpret it. Example number 2, Martha Stewart. She is a globally famous American entrepreneur, writer, and television personality. Martha Stewart built a massive media empire from her background as a successful caterer. From those days on to now, she's become the grand dame of housekeeping, homemaking, cooking, and entertaining. She brought the concept of elevated homemaking into the mainstream, teaching millions of women and men around the world how to cook, bake, garden, and otherwise take care of your home environment through her books, shows, and magazine. As a founder of Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia, she published over 100 cookbooks, released the iconic Martha Stewart Living magazine, and hosted popular TV programs. Essentially, Martha Stewart took housekeeping and homemaking from being a boring chore into an act of social grace and a marker of good taste and hospitality. In her birth chart, we see that she is a Libra rising. However, her Sun and Mercury are placed in her 10th house of career. This is not surprising at all, given that homemaking is one of the themes that we know and love Cancer for, and Martha made a career out of it. Number 3, Meghan Markle. Now, if you watched previous videos of the series, what I do here is I give you 2 canonical examples of the zodiac sign, and the third example I give is that of a controversial personality. Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is very highly controversial globally, and what interested me here is that the controversy that she is known for is very much in line with the Cancer zodiac sign themes. Now, Meghan Markle is most widely known for her marriage to Prince Harry and her affiliation with the British royal family. In January 2020, Meghan and Harry announced their exit as active senior members of the British royal family, an event which generated tons of media coverage and international sensation. Interestingly, many pop culture outlets dubbed their decision as Megxit, hinting at a role that Meghan had to play in this decision. Since then, both Meghan and Harry cited concern over the welfare of their family being in the spotlight as royals. They claimed that one of the deciding factors for them to step back from their roles as active senior royals was this desire to give their family and their children a semblance of a normal childhood without the frenzy and scrutiny that undoubtedly surrounds all of the royal figures. Another important factor and a concern for Harry was Meghan's struggles with her mental health at the time that she was pregnant with their firstborn Archie, and also the fact that his royal family declined to show support and offer help to Meghan, who was going through a very difficult time. The central themes here are family conflict and mental health, the two themes that are resonating very strongly with the core of the Cancer zodiac sign. Now let's look at Meghan's birth chart. What we see here is a Cancer rising birth chart with Sun and Rahu placed in Cancer in her first house. Now, Sun and Rahu are both malefic planets, and their placement in Cancer negatively impacts all of these themes and characteristics that come with this sign, family dynamics being one of them. Interestingly, this is not the first time that Meghan found herself in the middle of a conflict with a family member. Right before she was getting married to Prince Harry back in 2018, her father, Thomas Markle, leaked some sensitive family information to the media and the paparazzi, adding to an already overwhelming amount of unwanted attention Meghan was getting from the media. Their relationship has been extremely strained and distant ever since. Outside of the family drama, you can also see Meghan's Cancer qualities through her new Netflix show With Love, Meghan. The show focuses on homemaking, cooking, and gardening, where Meghan hosts their celebrity friends in a coastal farmhouse in Montessori, California. Before closing the look at the Cancer zodiac sign, let's go through a few honorable Cancer mentions. Angelina Jolie, who is as known for her acting career as she is known for her large family with 6 children. Cancer rising with Venus in Cancer. Selena Gomez, a world-famous singer-songwriter and a public mental health advocate. Cancer rising with Sun, Venus, and Mercury in Cancer. Erwin Schrödinger, an Austrian theoretical physicist who achieved fundamental results in quantum theory and who is known in popular culture as the author of Schrödinger's cat thought experiment. Libra rising with Sun, Mercury, Rahu, and Saturn in Cancer. Louise Hay, American motivational author and speaker, widely recognized as the founder of the modern self-help movement. She is best known for her international bestseller, You Can Heal Your Life. In her work and her legacy, she relied quite a lot on the power of affirmations, positive thinking, and the mind-body connection to overcome adversity and stress. Cancer rising. Carole Duval-Leroy, known as the Champagne Lady, an heiress and CEO to French champagne producer Duval-Leroy. Gemini rising with Sun, Venus, Jupiter, and Mars in Cancer in her second house. And this interestingly nods at the alcohol theme of the Cancer zodiac sign. Jean Piaget, Swiss psychologist, known for his work on child development. Taurus rising with Sun, Moon, and Jupiter in Cancer. And last but not least, Matthew Perry, a late American actor who is most known for his role as Chandler Bing on Friends. He had a long history of substance abuse, which eventually led to his premature demise. Cancer rising. This is it for Cancer. If you have any notable placements in Cancer, then let me know what they are, drop them in the comments, and share how you might be experiencing them. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my channel to receive new upcoming videos.